This is Jerry Tuttle. It's Del Webb Traditions Trivia Night number 3, and we hope you have some laughs. As before, each team needs a team name and a team leader and so on. No using electronic help. Choose the best answer. Choose the best answer, even if it's not the right answer. Choose the answer that's better than the others. First category is the 60s. All the following people were born in the 60s except Tom Brady, John Bon Jovi, George Clooney, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Queen Latifah. And as in the past, you can pause the video at any time to think about your answer before I give you the answers. 2. What fashion designer is credited with popularizing the miniskirt in the 60s? Andre Courageous, or however you pronounce that, Diane von Furstenberg, Halston, Mary Quant, Oscar de la Renta. Who was the first African-American woman elected to the U.S. Congress? Yvonne Braithwaite Burke, Shirley Chisholm, Cardis Collins, Barbara Jordan, Maxine Waters. What was the name of the U.S. military operation that increased troop levels in Vietnam in 1965? Operation Cedar Falls, Operation Junction City, Operation Linebacker, Operation Rolling Thunder, Tet Offensive. 5. What was the name of the Supreme Court case that ruled mandatory school-sponsored prayer in public schools is unconstitutional? Brown versus Board of Ed, Engel versus Vitale, Griswold versus Connecticut, Pickering versus Board of Ed, Tinker versus Des Moines. Bad joke number 1. A man goes to his doctor because he's not feeling well. His wife comes to support him. The doctor examines him and then talks to his wife. The wife says, "Give it to me straight, doc. Tell me the truth about my husband." The doctor says, "He's in bad condition. If you want him to live, you're going to have to keep him happy. Feed him, clean up after him, don't argue with him, and make love to him 3 times a day." The man meets up with his wife after she's finished talking with the doctor. What'd the doctor say? She says, "The doctor says you're going to die." Here are the answers. Queen Latifah was born in 1970. Mary Quant is credited with popularizing the miniskirt. Shirley Chisholm of New York was the first African-American woman elected to Congress. Operation Rolling Thunder was the U.S. military operation. And the Supreme Court decision is B, Engel versus Vitale. Brown versus Board of Ed, the famous decision was about segregation. Round 2 is television. On the TV series Soap, about 2 families, the Tates and the Campbells, in season 1, Peter Campbell, stepson of Mary, is murdered. Who killed him? Benson, Bert Campbell, Chester Tate, Corinne Tate, Jody Campbell. 7. Actor and comedian Hank Azaria does all of the following voices on The Simpsons except Apu, the convenience store owner, Chief Wiggum, Mo Sislak, Principal Skinner, Professor Frink. 8. On The Golden Girls, which character plays a divorcee? Blanche, Dorothy, Rose, Sophia, Virginia. 9. Which of the following is true about the TV show Three's Company? Both Stanley and Helen Roper believe Jack is gay. Jack's friend Larry also pretends to be gay. Janet eventually got married. Jack eventually got married. When Janet and Chrissy went out of town and Jack threw a party, the next morning Jack was in bed with Mr. Furley. Number 10, of Gilligan's Island, who is still alive? Gilligan, Ginger, Marianne, the professor, the skipper. Bad joke number 2. A man goes to a bar. He says to the bartender, "Give me a drink before the trouble starts." Gives him a drink. He says again, "Give me another drink before the trouble starts." Gives him another drink. Says it again, "Give me another drink before the trouble starts." Gives him another drink. The bartender asks, "Hey, when is this trouble going to start?" "When you realize I don't have any money for the drinks." Okay, here are the answers. To the TV series Soap, it was Chester, Robert Mandan, who confesses to Peter's murder and is sent to prison. For Hank Azaria, he does all the voices except Principal Skinner. The Golden Girls, it's Dorothy B. Arthur, who's the divorcee. Three's Company, this is a little tricky. The correct answer is C. Janet eventually got married in the last episode. For D, Jack proposed, but she turns him down. And the interesting wrong answer is E. When Janet and Chrissy went out of town and Jack threw a party, the next morning Jack was in bed with Mr. Roper, not Mr. Furley. Number 10, the beautiful Ginger is still alive. The others have passed away. Round 3, music. Which song contains the lyric, "Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste." Devil's Dance, Devil in Disguise, Devil in Her Heart, Shout at the Devil, Sympathy for the Devil. Number 12, the song Hold What You've Got begins with these lyrics. Who first recorded it? You had better hold on to what you've got. You had better hold on to what you've got. The choices are James Brown, Sam Cooke, Otis Redding, Smokey Robinson, Joe Tex. 13. All the following song lyrics contain a specific month and day number, such as April 1, except Calendar Girl, The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down, Ode to Billy Joe, Saturday in the Park, September. Which song contains the lyrics, and her name is Gloria, Gloria. Gloria by Laura Branigan, Gloria by the Lumineers, Gloria by Manhattan Transfer, Gloria by U2, Gloria by Van Morrison. 15. In Billy Joel's song The Longest Time, what group's musical style is he playing tribute to? Dion and the Belmonts, Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers, Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, Johnny Maestro and the Crests, Larry Chance and the Earls. Bad joke number 3. A 60-year-old millionaire is getting married. His friends are jealous, and one of them asks how he landed such a hot 23-year-old blonde beauty. Simple, grins the millionaire. I lied about my age. His friends are amazed. One of them asks, what age did you tell her? I said I was 90. Here are the answers. Please allow me to introduce myself is Sympathy for the Devil by the Rolling Stones. Hold What You've Got is Joe Tex. All the following contain a specific month and day number except Calendar Girl. And for the other 4, these are the day and month that are in the song. These particular lyrics is E by Van Morrison. Billy Joel is playing tribute to Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers. Next category is movies. Premiere Magazine listed the 100 greatest movie performances of all time through 2006. Which of the following actresses is on the list? Julie Andrews, Angela Bassett, Lauren Bacall, Marilyn Monroe, Elizabeth Taylor. 17. In the movie Big, a 13-year-old boy is magically turned into an adult played by Tom Hanks. Who plays his adult girlfriend? Jennifer Connelly, Melanie Griffith, Annette O'Toole, Elizabeth Perkins, Charlize Theron. What movie received the very first Academy Award for the category Best Animated Feature? Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, Shrek, Toy Story. Which of the following is true about the movie The Accountant? Christian teams up with his brother to track down the hitman who's trying to kill Christian. Christian is caught and arrested at the end. Dana Cummings plays an accountant who is also a criminal. Justine is Christian's partner despite being nonverbal. Raymond King plays a retired Fed and is also a criminal. Whoops, what movie? Can't go back. All right. Bad joke number 4. As I picked up my newspaper from the driveway this morning, I ran into my neighbor who lives across the street. He says, "You should pull the shades down in your bedroom. I saw you and your wife making love last night." I said, "The joke's on you. I wasn't even home last night." Here are the answers. Angela Bassett for What Love's Got to Do with It, based on the life of Tina Turner. Big, the girlfriend is Elizabeth Perkins, who I did not recognize at all. 18 is Shrek. 19, Justine is Christian's partner despite being nonverbal. 20, Hold On to Your Butts is Jurassic Park. Line spoken by Samuel L. Jackson as he's about to restore power after a power outage. And now the always favorite Poo-Pourri. What 60s girl group was known for performing in evening gowns, false eyelashes, and hair piled so high atop their heads, you were better off measuring it in feet, not inches? Chiffons, Marvelettes, Ronettes, Shirelles, Supremes. Rick Hoffman is one of those characters you probably recognize but may not know his name. What show did he not appear in? Bernie Mac, NYPD Blue, Philly, Samantha Who, Suits. President Bartlett's personal secretary on West Wing was Mrs. Landingham. Why was she replaced? Disagreement, insubordination, she was killed, switched parties to take care of her ill son. In Taking of the Pelham 123, the subway hijackers used code names. Each of the following actors was one of those hijackers except Martin Balsam, Hector Elizondo, Earl Hindeman, Tony Roberts, Robert Shaw. Which actor or actress played the first ADA on Law and Order in 1990? Richard Brooks, Angie Harmon, Jill Hennessy, Carrie Lowell, Sam Waterston. Bad joke number 5. Sue and Doris, who were sitting outside the clubhouse smoking when it began to rain. Sue calmly reached into her purse and pulled out a condom. She unrolled it, clipped off the end with a pair of scissors, slipped it over her cigarette, and to the astonishment of Doris, the cigarette remained dry. Doris said, "Wow, what are those things?" She said, "They're called condoms." "Where do you get them?" "At the drugstore." The next day, Doris went to the drugstore and asked the druggist for a package of condoms. The druggist, taken aback, replied, "You want condoms?" "Yes, sir." "What size would you like?" Doris replied, "I don't give a damn, as long as they will fit a camel." The 60s group is the Ronettes. Rick Hoffman did not appear in NYPD Blue. Mrs. Landingham was killed in a car crash leading up to the dramatic Martin Sheen monologue. In The Taking of the Pelham, the correct answer is Tony Roberts. And remember that final scene where Martin Balsam sneezes and Walter Matthau gives him that look? Law and Order is Richard Brooks. Hawthorne and Traditions, which is a local apartment house, currently offers all the following except golf and sports simulator, indoor pet spa, pickleball, podcasting studio, saltwater swimming pool. Which region is Wake County? A, B, C, D, E, or E? And I did this in Python. Can't wait for the answers. Which 60s group is this? It's the Temptations. And we're going to do a sing-along in person. I'm not going to do it here in the PowerPoint. The Traditions answer is they have everything but pickleball, surprisingly. Wake County is A, in the lower left of those 5. And the next trivia event is August 14th. Please register. I hope you enjoyed these questions, and I'll see you next time.